I'm Lisa Stone, and you are listening to Season 8 of Parenting Aces.
Welcome to Season 8 of the Parenting Aces podcast. I'm your host, Lisa Stone, and I've got a short and sweet one this week for you, featuring yours truly, giving you a few updates on what's going on with Parenting Aces and where we're headed over the next couple of weeks. As you may or may not know, I will be heading to New York on Thursday to put on the tennis parent recruiting session to kick off the WTCA conference on Friday morning in New York at the Marriott LaGuardia, which is right near the Billie Jean King National Tennis Center, where the U.S. Open qualifying tournament is underway. And I'd love for you guys to join me on Friday morning. We have all the information on our website, on our social media, but if you are interested in attending the tennis parent recruiting session Friday morning, there will be a link in the show notes on parentingaces.com, so take a look at that. If you're a premium member of Parenting Aces, you get to come for free. So added incentive for you to come on over to the Marriott LaGuardia Friday morning and hear from college coaches at all levels of the game. We've got Division I, II, III, and NAIA college coaches that will be on our panel. The first part of the morning will be devoted to Division I, including coaches from 2 Ivy League schools. And then the next part of the morning will be devoted to Division II, III, and NAIA, and what it means to recruit at those levels, what your junior players need to be doing in preparation for college recruiting, what the college coaches are looking for, what the expectations are once your child is on campus and part of the team. It's really going to be a phenomenal morning of information and insights that will help you help your child as they go through this crazy college recruiting scenario. And I'm telling you, it only gets more and more complicated with the expansion of technology, which should have the opposite effect, but sadly, I think it just makes it so that our kids feel more overwhelmed as they try to understand how to utilize social media, how to utilize email, phone calls, when they can contact coaches, when coaches can contact them, and how. I mean, it's gotten nuts out there. So I'm really hopeful that those of you who attend the session on Friday morning leave with much more understanding of how things work and a bigger sense of kind of calm and control over what's coming for your junior player. So I really hope to see y'all out on Friday morning. I will be attending the WTCA conference the rest of Friday, all of Saturday, all of Sunday, and kind of in between sessions, I'm hoping to get over, at least on Friday afternoon, to get over to the National Tennis Center and watch some of the final rounds of U.S. Open qualies. And then on Saturday, it's Arthur Ashe Kids Day at the U.S. Open, and that's a free event, as the qualies are a free event for any of you that are in the area and want to attend. Especially if you have young junior players, I encourage you to come out for Arthur Ashe Kids Day. It's always so much fun, and there are all sorts of activities for the kids. Some of the top pros will be there, and the kids will get to meet them and get autographs. And it's just a fun day for young players who are just starting to develop their tennis dreams. So hope to see you out at Arthur Ashe Kids Day. If you are going to be there, let me know, and maybe we can connect and maybe do a little live interview. That'd be so much fun. So please do either shoot me a text or email me, or you know how to get in touch with me. I'm on all the social media, so reach out to me any which way that is convenient for you. So after next weekend, I'm coming back to Atlanta, and we'll be following along on TV and online like the rest of you. And then I head back to New York on September 3rd to cover the U.S. Open Juniors. And I always love going back to New York to cover that event. It is so much fun. I get to see the future of professional tennis on the junior circuit. And I mean, I've seen some amazing, amazing players over the years at US Open Juniors. If you're coming to the US Open that second week, please make time to get out to the courts where the juniors are playing. You will not be disappointed, I promise you. And especially after being at National Hard Courts last week in San Diego, I can tell you that some of these young women and the young men who I've been following over the years are top-notch and have great careers ahead of them, whether it's playing in college or playing professionally. So this is one of those chances to get a peek into the future of what our sport holds for us, and I just always think it's so exciting. So again, if you're going to be there that second week, September 3rd through 8th, please let me know and let's connect, and we'll just meet up and chat and maybe take a few photos and maybe do an interview, and I would just love that. So reach out to me for sure. I want to just say also, in conjunction with the US Open, the US Open app is available now. And so if you want to follow along with the tournament, make sure you download the app. I think it's available for iPhones and for Android. I think it's available for everything. So make sure you get your copy of the app. There's all sorts of great information on there. And there's a schedule, the practice schedule, so you can go out and watch your favorite players on the practice courts. You can designate favorite players and then get push notifications when they're playing, so you can follow along their matches either on the app or watching on TV, or if you're lucky enough to be there in person, you can go watch them play live. And it's always nice to kind of get those reminders of who's on court when and how you can see them play or follow along with their matches. So make sure you download the app, and that way you'll have everything at your fingertips. What else do I need to tell you about? Oh my goodness. There is an ITF event going on in College Park, Maryland this week, and I know Colette Lewis of Zoo Tennis is there covering it. If you follow at JTCC on Twitter, they are updating all the match results. Colette is doing her usual bang-up reporting from the event as well, and you can follow her at Zoo Tennis. So if you are interested in some of the kids that will be competing in the US Open Juniors next week, or in 2 weeks, I guess, this ITF event at the JTCC is kind of a little precursor warm-up event for them to get ready for the US Open. So it's always fun to follow along and see who's performing well there. What else can I tell y'all? Oh my gosh. Okay, we just launched a Patreon page for this podcast. I know that a lot of you simply listen to the podcast. You're not engaging in our website or our social media per se, for whatever reason. Maybe the podcast is the easiest way for you to get our information. And I realized that once we launched the premium membership on our website, that really, for those of you who only listen to the podcast, it doesn't make sense for you to become a premium member through the site. So if you are so inclined and want to help support Parenting Aces and this particular podcast, you can go to patreon.com/Parenting Aces, and that link will be in the show notes, and you can sign up to become a patron of the site. One of the first things we're offering to our patrons is that if you sign up as a patron prior to September 3rd, when I make my second trip to New York, I will ask your question of your favorite player in the interview room in the media center. So, you know, when you're watching matches on TV and they'll show clips of the interviews after the matches, I get to go in that interview room as credentialed media, which is one of the highlights of my time at the US Open. It's always so fun to sit in there. And for my patrons, if you have a question for your favorite player, and caveat, if they're still in the tournament when I get there on September 3rd, I will ask your question in media, and I will videotape your question being asked and the answer, and I will post it on our social media. So that could be kind of fun. And again, all you have to do is go to patreon.com/parenting Aces. Sign up to be a patron, and it's that simple. We'll be offering other benefits to our patrons over the coming months. Haven't quite figured out what that looks like yet, but as a podcast listener, if there's something that you would like us to offer, something that you feel would be helpful to you, useful to you, please let me know. I am all ears and really trying to make our Patreon page something that is a bonus for those of you who are already subscribers to the podcast, who are faithful listeners, who tune in week after week. And I want to give something back in exchange for your support. So please engage with me on social media or via email and let me know what would be fun for you to have as a bonus if you decide to become a patron. Let's see, what else can I talk to you guys about? As y'all know, I went to San Diego for the girls 16s and 18s National Hardcourt Tournament. That was quite an experience, and I did write an article about it that is available to our premium members on parentingaces.com. But there's some things that went on at that tournament that I will be discussing in a future podcast, possibly in a future article as well. Things that were a bit disturbing, and I'm waiting for some resolution to happen before I disclose any more. But suffice it to say that even at the highest level of our junior events in the U.S., sometimes we see some behavior, some actions, some errors on the part of the tournament organizers that really are very disappointing as a fan of the game and as someone who had a kid playing in those tournaments. It's really disappointing to see. So those of you who were on site know what I'm talking about. Those of you who weren't there, you'll have to just wait, and I promise you I will bring you more information on what went down and how the issues have been resolved or are in the process of being resolved. So again, overall, I had a phenomenal experience. Y'all know, if you follow me on social media, I got to meet Billie Jean King, which was, oh my gosh, absolutely incredible. And the funny thing is, the tournament director, Lornie Kuehl, introduced me to Billie Jean. They have been friends for decades. And Lornie told Billie Jean what I do with Parenting Aces, and she asked me, to give her more information. And I said, well, basically I'm trying to help tennis parents do a better job. And her response to me was, good luck, with a big grin on her face. So those of y'all who have been around, this junior tennis thing is crazy. It is fun, it is frustrating, it is exciting, it is aggravating. It takes you on a roller coaster ride of emotions every day, and it was so fun to see that Billie Jean recognized that, and she was incredible. It was really cool to get to meet her. She is actually the keynote speaker at the WTCA conference on Saturday, so I'm really looking forward to getting to hear her speak a little bit more and hear what words of wisdom she's going to be sharing with the coaches that are in attendance for this conference. And let's see, what else is going on? Oh my gosh. So much is happening around the world of tennis right now with the US Open underway. It is fan week this week at the US Open. So I want to just encourage you, if you are in the area, everything is free at the US Open during fan week. And if you are planning to go, you should download the US Open Fan Access Pass. You can get that through the US Open app. You can also get it at usopen.org. And the cool thing about the US Open Fan Access Pass during Fan Week is you get access to all sorts of cool things. You get to watch the top players practice in Arthur Ashe Stadium, and it's a kind of semi-private behind-the-scenes look at the practices because not everybody can get in there, but if you have a fan access pass, you can. You can see some Legends matches that are happening on Grandstand this week, and they're going to have John McEnroe, Jim Courier, Andy Roddick, James Blake, Martina Navratilova, Tracy Austin, Lindsay Davenport, and Arantxa Sanchez Vicario playing against one another in Grandstand. And again, you need to have the fan access pass to get reserved seats in there. You also get reserved seating. If you have a fan access pass, you get reserved seating right by the player entrance tunnel in Grandstand to watch your favorite pros as they practice and get ready for next week's US Open. So that's kind of fun too. And again, the fan access pass is free. The US Open app is free. So you need to go ahead and download that if you're going to be there. And again, we've got Arthur Ashe Kids Day happening. We've got all sorts of incredible qualies matches happening at the US Open this week during Fan Week, and all of that is free to attend. So I hope you will take advantage of that. So that's it, I think, in terms of what I needed to update you on. I will have tons of content coming from the US Open in my 2 visits to New York. If you're not already, please, please, please make sure you're following at Parenting Aces on Twitter, on Instagram, on Facebook, and of course following our website and this podcast. And we also have a YouTube channel. I'll be uploading some video there, but everything will be accessible through parentingaces.com. So if you miss anything, don't worry about it. Just go to parentingaces.com. At the very least, you need to be signed up as a free member of our site. That's super easy. Just go to parentingaces.com, click on the join button, and that'll take you to the membership page. And you can choose to become a premium member. Of course, we would love for you to do that. But if that's just not in your budget right now or not what you need, you can always simply become a free member. Super easy. You just have to enter your email address. You'll get a confirmation email that you'll have to click on to confirm your registration, and then you'll be set to go. And you'll be able to view most of the content coming out of the US Open. Some of it will be behind our paywall and reserved for the premium members of the site. I think that's all I needed to share with you. If you have any questions for me, if you're going to be around at the US Open, if there's something that you would like to see us offer, again, through our Patreon page, through our premium membership, or just in general, please, please, please reach out to me. I am always available to you, Lisa at parentingaces.com. Message me on Facebook, comment on the website, message me through Twitter, through Instagram, text me, any kind of way you want to get a hold of me. I will respond, and I want to just thank all of you for continuing to support not just this podcast, but the Parenting Aces website and our social media channels as well. I hope that we are bringing you useful content that helps you do a better job navigating your child's junior and college recruiting experience. If there's anything you need, anything at all, I'm here for you. Again, thanks so much for tuning in, and I'll catch you next time on Parenting Aces.
I'm Lisa Stone, and you've been listening to the Parenting Aces podcast. For tennis parents, by a tennis parent. If you like what you've heard, I hope you'll share the podcast with your tennis community. For all the information you need to navigate the junior and college tennis journey, be sure to check out parentingaces.com.